Hey guys, MKS again here. Hope everyone's well. Part 2 of my video. The other one just made dragged on quite a bit, so I'm conscious of trying to make it quick, and I'm not sure whether to make it serious because it's about politics or to make it fun. Try and possibly get a balance between the two. I know it's a serious issue. I forgot to mention, like, part 1 of my video, possibly point 1, could be how everything we do in a way is affected somewhat, everything we do in some way is affected by politics somewhat. The prices we pay for things, political stability, whether we have peace or violence or different situations like that, they're all affected by politics pretty much. I think it'd be interesting to hear any area which is not in some way affected by politics and decisions that are made by governments, generally males in suits and things like that. I wonder if people want someone to be laid back, or that's another question I'd love to ask. Like, do you think that politicians, if they came in shorts and if they came in like tracksuits, would you look down on them, or would you think that's quite refreshing, or do you think every politician should wear suits, or especially fancy suits and things like that? Anyway, sorry. Probably rambling on. Again, the intro's a bit long, so I'm going to crack on with the list. But yeah, I'd love to hear your opinions on that sort of thing, and what you think, if you think there are any areas in our life which are not affected by politics, or do you agree that pretty much every area of our life in some way, even sport, like when you cheer for a national team or things like that, is affected? Like, if the government comes up with a policy to tackle football violence or drunken behaviour or whatever, so even football would be affected by that, or even youths on the street. Governments had, in the UK, they had like anti-dispersal behaviour laws, so they could, if they see a group of youths, they could say you, even if you haven't done anything, they could say you are intimidating people or causing trouble, even if you haven't done anything, and they could disperse you and things like that. Don't know if they still do that, but you could argue that's quite a violation on human rights, and you're assuming that youths or young people, in other words, are going to cause trouble. Anyway, I want to get onto the list. Point number 11, I wanted to talk about and ask you, what would you do if you were Prime Minister, or what you could change? I think I probably covered that before, but in the future, I'm hoping to talk about what sort of things I would change about, maybe even about myself, about the world, about politics. To be honest, I mean, this is controversial. I know not everyone's going to agree, but I would love to look at, again, what I talked about before, about reducing taxes and looking at ways in which the government could, because to me tax is infringement on freedom. Should be careful what I say, but I think enforced tax is kind of like robbery, because if you think about a situation, if I went to you and I said, I'm going to take 10% of your money, if you don't give it to me, then I'm going to charge you more money, and if you don't pay that, I'm going to get some guys to come and lock you up. But that's what the government does with tax, and I think a lot of people are against the nanny state, what they call the nanny state in the UK. I don't know if America or other countries are the same, so I'm trying to perhaps I try and explain those things, but it's not quite easy to explain to people from another country who are not used to those things. But a lot of people talking about the nanny state, telling people what to do, what they can wear, how much salt they can have, how much sugar they can have, and taxing people on things. And a lot, like there's Jamie Oliver, chef, fellow dyslexic guy actually, although I can't cook to save myself, my soul or whatever. But he wanted to have a tax on all these sugar and all that. People said he was quite hypocritical because he's quite overweight himself, apparently, if you notice this sort of stuff. And also in his restaurants he had quite a lot of sugar, so there was a lot of backlash about him telling people what to do. A lot of people saying the nanny state, but yet we have healthcare and education. Really, I think the inconvenient truth about tax or the healthcare system, education and things that are paid for by taxes, really that is the government telling you what to do with your money. Or so I think people who are against the nanny state still want to, probably most of them would still support higher taxes or on the rich, for instance, or more healthcare or education, or things that taxes are used for, more services, public services or things like that. So really, I think they're opposing the nanny state, but in a way they unknowingly support it. When you call for higher tax even on the rich, I still think that's kind of telling the rich what to do with their money. We don't know how individuals, they might have worked really hard for that money, but we're telling them that you've got enough, or you don't need that money, so we're going to tax you. I don't know what you think about that. So obviously, please feel free to disagree. But yeah, I think tax itself and healthcare, education, and things that are paid for via tax are generally nanny states. They're run by the government. I'm not saying they shouldn't exist, but I think that people who are against the nanny state, like Jamie Oliver saying he shouldn't tell people what to do or tell people they should pay this tax or things like that. But at the same time, they would. So like when he went to schools and he tried to say people should eat more healthy, a lot of parents were bringing in chips or other things for their for children, for their own children especially, for their own children, let's say, and sneaking them in and saying that they shouldn't be told what to do. But I suppose if those people became ill, they would go to healthcare and they'd want other people to pay for it, even though they haven't. They're encouraging their children not to look after their health. Hope that makes sense. As I said, I don't know if that. Please let me know if you understand what I'm waffling on about. But yeah, but I'd love to know what you would change if you were a politician or a prime minister, president, whatever background you are. What sort of things would you change? Like, would you have more women, or would you have more young people in politics? Would you have more women, or would you have people from disabled backgrounds or different backgrounds? Anyway, on that note, moving on to point 12, I hope to encourage people from different backgrounds. And like, if I do well with political roles, aspirations, then I think other people can say, well, this guy can, this mad guy can, then maybe we can too. So encourage and look at listening to disabled people and their voices, which is it probably contradicts what I said before about not having higher tax or stuff like that. But I think, again, I talked about if disabled people are empowered to make their own YouTube videos, then I suppose they would need a lot of views to be empowered enough to, or financially supported enough not to need benefits. But maybe they can just have, we could still perhaps cut the benefits budget, but they would have money that they earn from YouTube or stuff like that. So I want to give people as much choice as I can, and have the lowest possible tax, but also at the same time still, again, looking at how the government can cut waste as well. That could be another way. But I also hope to inspire people, like, say, for instance, my fellow learning disabled people, like people with dyslexia and dyspraxia, to get involved in politics. And perhaps instead of complaining about politicians, maybe we could get involved, and we can still complain, but we can do something about it, do something to change. I don't know what people think about that. Again, I'd love to hear your opinions. Network with other people and things like that. Again, I hope to listen to people more. 13, I understand I can be a bit naive in certain areas, and not everyone's going to agree with me anyway as well. And I know politics can be very hostile. So I do want to be careful about some of my sharing of some of my opinions, but I think we should accept, like, even if we don't agree with other people's opinions, I think we should accept that not everyone's going to be the same, otherwise it would be quite a boring world. Excuse me, sorry. I think my voice is, hopefully my voice won't go, that would be quite awkward. But yeah, so some of the problems and challenges and the negative things about politics. 14, hope to look at solving some of the problems, like innovative ideas to solve climate change or global warming, or tackle flooding, like how we can do fundraising. Like an idea I had, I don't know how practical it is, but I thought we could have like a net which catches rain, excess rain, and somehow transports that excess rain from an area where there's flooding to an area where there's a drought, and sort of, so it balances it out. I don't know if that would work, but it's like one of my quirky dyslexic ideas, if you like. But yeah, maybe like on that note, like dyslexic people, I talked before about how dyslexic people can solve problems, and so maybe dyslexic people in politics can also have a different way of thinking. And on that note, I'd love to interview politicians from different backgrounds, ethnic minorities, people of colour, people from just other countries, like minorities, but they might be from places like in Europe, like Poland or Germany, about their experiences or their different views, and also disabled people, and especially my fellow dyslexics. Like, if you class, I don't know if you class dyslexia as a disability, but like even Matt Hancock, who's an MP with dyslexia, who was on the Global Summit for Dyslexia, and talking about, he's done a lot talking about how dyslexics see things differently and can have a different approach. And maybe I'd love to hear people's opinions as well about, like, would it be good to have a dyslexic or dyspraxic or an autistic or ADHD person in politics who, so let's say, for instance, especially in education, who will understand the challenges at least a little bit more than someone who doesn't have dyspraxia or ADHD or whatever other learn disabled people in terms of being the education minister, because maybe, as I say, he or she will understand fellow learning disabled people a little bit more than others. So maybe they could represent learners who learn differently or struggle in some ways. But yeah, that kind of thing. 15, I would list to opinion polls and list to different people's goals and work with people who share the same goal. Like here in the UK again, I don't know about people abroad, so apologies if a lot of what I say about British politics might not resonate with you if you're from say the US or somewhere like that. But a lot of people here, like UKIP, lost my train of thought, sorry. But UKIP, which is UK Independence Party, for those who might not know, talked about working with different political parties that share the same goal. So working on areas where they agree with their policies, and I'd love to do to have a party that does something similar. And again, talk about Indigenous people's rights and things like that. But yeah, I'd love to have opinion polls, what people from different backgrounds think, and what how can we get more disabled people in politics, or what different people's opinions are. Like this, my fellow dyslexic people, how many are also libertarian, or how many are socialist or communist, or how many are conservative, Labour, Liberal Democrat, or whatever, in different opinions. But I hope we can discuss it amicably. 16, yeah, again, I hope to have opinion polls and again list to different people's views and different analysis and just different opinions where we can learn from each other, and learn to see things from a different perspective as well. Like for instance, if I say lower taxes, people might say, well, what about services? But if you cut government waste, then that could be a way where you don't have to increase taxes, or you could even cut them and still there could be an independent body that looks at ways in which the government could offer the best value for money for the I was going to say the consumer, but in effect we're kind of buying into their politics. So but yeah, we are kind of like we're kind of like should be their bosses really. But yeah, and point 17. I hope to talk about like stories about my dreams about politics and things like that, and like imagine if politicians accepted minimum wage or accepted the bare minimum, or possibly they did a second job to make money, but they only did politics for things they believed in, but didn't. This is probably a naive idea of mine, but like I'm saying, like politicians on minimum wage, because then it saves money for the taxpayer and cutting back on their expenses and things like that. But again, I'd love to hear what a lot of people said that's quite a naive idea, but I'd love to hear how many people actually do agree and think that they shouldn't have so much, or they should do a second job which makes the money, but in politics they do it just for the passion and to offer the best value for the taxpayer. They take the bare minimum. They take the bare minimum wage. Or if you think that's a naive idea and that politicians need more pay to encourage more people to get into politics. So I'd love to hear your opinion on that. 18, positive politics. Like in politics, a lot of time people talk about what's negative about the opposition, or they shout down the opposition. But I'm thinking like, it's better if people talk about what's good about their policies. So like if I was a politician, I'd talk about what's good about the policies I have, or why I think they're good ideas, or why I think they make people's life better and more free, make the world a better place and things like that, rather than saying what's bad about the opposition. I think you can do that a little bit, but I think politicians perhaps do that too much, and perhaps they should talk more about positive things about what they're going to do to make the world a better place. And 19, talking about like how everything's to do with politics, pretty much. Like say the price we pay for things and all sorts of things like that. And I was thinking like being an Italian football fan, I think it'd be great. I was thinking, what if Italian football fans or Italians, people from Italy, voted for the political parties or politicians that are going to do the most for Italian football, like we're going to invest in football pitches, training facilities, parks for young people to play football and practice, and that sort of thing. So it's just like a quirky little dyslexic imagination of mine. So and point 20, again, I'd love to I talked before about how any political group who supports African tech or the advancement of Africa via tech would get my support. So I don't know if I'm going to vote, but I think if any political party says that they will support African technology advancement and give more funding for Africa to be supported in technology, I think that I'll vote for that political party. And I think that covers my points. I'm probably going to go and watch Question Time. Sorry if my voice went a bit, and sorry if I waffled on a bit. I hope I make some sense. Please let me know what you think, even if you didn't like it. Please let me know how I can improve it or what bits you might not like. But I hope you liked at least some of it. Please let me know what points resonate with you. And again, please support this as much as you can, my channel and all that. Please like the video if you get. I really appreciate it, and share it with minorities or people of color or disabled people, different groups, libertarians even, and yeah, maybe we can network together, especially my fellow dyslexics and mixed race people and people. Peace and love.